So we're leaving Da Nang. It's just not a very good environment to be waking up to and just like constantly surrounded by noise. Yeah.
Whole day.
Flash flooding. We want to share with you all the things we've learned about living in Da Nang in the last 2 months so you can make your own informed decision whether this place is for you or not. All right, we're packing. We're leaving Da Nang, as we said before. We came to Da Nang thinking it's going to be a nice digital nomad hub for us and we can stay here for a few months just to chill out and from all the hectic traveling we've been having in Europe. So I was really looking forward to coming here and just relaxing and getting our schedules back. But as it turns out, it hasn't been so ideal for us. And we've actually called it early. We're leaving Da Nang earlier than expected. Living here and traveling here is two different stories. Last year we were here for, I think it was about a week, and we had a wonderful time. We stayed in a slightly different area, but it was still a busy tourist area.
Yeah.
And we had a really good time and we thought, you know, next time we should come back here and give this place a good go because we heard a lot of great things about it and there are lots of expats around. But living here for the last 2 months, it's definitely not the same. So we want to share with you all the things we've learned about living in Da Nang in the last 2 months so you can make your own informed decision whether this place is for you or not, and also how to have a good time if you do decide to come to Da Nang, because it does have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
But I think going through our experience, we would do a few things very differently. So let's chat about that.
Yeah.
So the first thing we've encountered was communication issue. Obviously, a lot of locals don't speak English well, which is totally fine. You could get by using translation apps, body language. We've done it in many countries. That's not the problem. I guess it's more about the communication style, and also in the Vietnamese culture, I believe, in a lot of Asian culture as well, we're sort of brought up thinking saying yes is a polite way, and also it's always good to say yes to people, being people pleasers. So a lot of the people here, the locals you speak to, they actually don't really understand what you want and what you're saying, but they will nod and smile and say yes. And if you're not used to it, you just think, okay, yeah, they got it, but they don't. Half of the time they don't know what's going on and they just nod and smile. And then you end up being frustrated because something's not done to your expectations. So in that way, you do need to manage expectations in terms of how they communicate and just the cultural difference. Always triple confirm something. If they nod and smile, repeat what you want and just make sure they understand. And if you're dealing with something that is transactional, it's really important to have everything in writing, either through like your message and take a screenshot of it so you don't lose that important information, or contract if you're renting an apartment, or just having it in writing makes it super clear for everybody. So if there's any discrepancy in argument, you can pull that up and, you know, kind of argue your case and prove your point. I think we're very fortunate here because you speak the language.
Yeah, even for me, I can speak the language. It helped a lot, but sometimes I still have to double check or triple check with them in Vietnamese just to make sure everything on the same page. Delivery from Lazada. Alright, got a delivery. Anh tên đúng rồi.
Anh tên mua 335 rồi.
335 ha. Rồi. This is Kathleen medicine. This is the medicine. Ok, mình hỏi đủ nha. Đủ ha. Rồi, cảm ơn em. Rồi. This is one of the good thing about Vietnam. Everything, I mean like everything can be delivered. We got our groceries, thing that we order online from Lazada, medicine, and I mean a lot more stuff delivered to us, and it's very simple. Actually, that is another thing that very good as well. You can pay cash on delivery, so you don't need to link your card to any apps at all. You actually can hear the construction going on around here. So much noise, so I'm just gonna go up. Back to the delivery. However, it will be easier if you can speak the language because I can speak Vietnamese, so it's easy for me to do with the vendors and the delivery drivers. Alright, so this is Vietnam as well. You don't see a lot of people from 11:30 to 3 p.m. here.
Out in the outdoors because
Yeah.
it's quite hot. So a lot of people tend to either close their shop, have a rest, have a midday nap. The shop behind us just kind of closing up a little bit as well, just to chill it. I mean, it's pretty crazy to stand outside during those times because it gets quite hot. And the street is pretty quiet. You don't really see a lot of locals. You see a lot of tourists.
Like us right now. Oh yeah.
We're not tourists. We're here to film.
Yeah.
We're sacrificing ourselves. Quick, it's too hot.
Alright, let's go. The monsoon season is here. It's normally around August to December, and it's getting worse and worse around September, October. Yeah. So if you're here during the monsoon season, it's gonna be like this the whole day. So rain,
Yeah.
whole day.
Flash flooding.
Yeah.
Quite heavy rain, so you just want to do indoor activity.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to go to the beach or
No.
anything like that.
Yeah. So just make sure if you like the sun, the beach, don't come around this time. Yeah.
These ones are really good. But I'm a size 8 to 10 in Australia. In here, I'm extra large.
7XL.
So these pants is one size. I need to try if it fits. Because also in Asia, some of the material shrinks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
So I pay two pairs of pants and one short was $6.50. She gave it to me for $6.30. How much is $6.30?
Wow.
$36 for this. Pretty good. I bought a pair of pants here before. This one. It's very, very good. But they don't have another color. So So obviously things here are very cheap, but you can definitely overindulge. Like I was looking at the pants, I was like, oh, should I get another pair? I was like, I don't need it, even though it was like $10. But yeah, just it's tempting, but you just get what you need, right?
Another construction.
Popped up out of nowhere. We don't know where it's coming from.
All right, so this is the street that we are staying.
And there's a construction, another one that just started that I've noticed today. So Vietnam is it's always under construction. When we first got here, this was the first one.
This one here.
This one right here. And because it's quite far away from our apartment, we weren't really bothered by it. However, since we've been here, the one 2 doors down from us, you can see that pile of dirt come because you can hear it. This is quiet, believe it or not. This started to happen, and the grinding and the concrete drilling, because we are literally 2 doors down, it was like quite unbearable in the morning. The worst one, however, it's not this. It's actually the one right next door to us. They've decided to do a full-blown remodel of their home. I don't know if you can see, but all the windows and doors has been taken out, and the inside is actually empty. So I think they just keeping the shell and renovating everything else. And that wall here, that's our bedroom wall.
That's where we are, literally right there.
So like 7:30 in the morning, the banging, the drilling, it's like straight to our ears. It's so noisy. It's just not a very good environment to be waking up to and just like constantly surrounded by noise. So definitely a sensory overload. It's noisy. Vietnam is noisy. Yeah. That's all we get. How many times is like third or fourth time that we ran out of water? So many times we lost count. Something's wrong with the water pump apparently, right? The building manager is coming. Things in Vietnam don't last very long. The quality is definitely questionable. Anyway, we shall see. So the next thing would be manage your expectations while in Da Nang. You're in a different country, things work differently here. So don't apply the rules back home here. Everything is completely different, so you're just gonna have to get used to it. You do get what you pay for here. Things are incredibly cheap, but don't expect exceptional quality. You can't be paying bottom prices and expecting everything to be a Western standard. It just does not work like that. The quality of things are very, very different. So for example, in our apartment, things have randomly broken down that it shouldn't have, in our opinion. We've had a random tile dropped from our kitchen bench for no reason, just because of lack of craftsmanship. We found out that it was actually just sticky taped on. So things like that, you know, they cut corners and all the things, and that's how they produce something really cheap, right? So if you are enjoying that more affordable lifestyle, there's definitely a downside to it. So you cannot have everything.
The other thing is things happens very fast or really slow here. For example, like if you buy a thing, you need delivery, right? I bought medicine for Kathleen. I just order on the phone, and then half an hour later, the medicine's here at the front of the house. And then when we had our issues with water, and I tried to contact the manager, and it took them like 3 days to try to fix it. So yeah.
Our hot water?
Our hot water.
Oh,
yeah.
So I thought you were talking about the water not being available, which happened about, I'm gonna say like 7 times.
Yeah.
We had no water, running water in our apartment about like 7 times for no random reason. We don't know why.
I mean, it is what it is. So you just have to
Work around it.
work around it. Yeah.
But just be mindful of it, because you can get very upset over these situations, because, you know, back at home, not having water and hot water in particular is considered an emergency, right? Emergency house repair. But here it's just like, nah.
It will come back.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the little things, they make it super convenient. Like the delivery, like Grab being so available, you can order anything and everything. But then you've got the bigger things that happens to be the other way around, and it's like super slow.
Oh yeah. And in Vietnam, there's a lot less rules than you think.
I think they call Vietnam a jungle for a reason, because everything it is just kind of like winging it as you go. I think we can give you a really good example about the constructions that's been happening around us. You know, I think that's a really big reason why we're leaving. When we first got here, there was maybe just one on top of the street, was fairly far away, and you really couldn't hear anything when the doors are shut. But in the way coming, another one started, and the final one was the one next door. There's no warnings, nothing. I don't think you were saying that they don't really have to alert anyone to demolish anything. They just have to tell the council, but once they tell them, like, it's just like, sure, that's it. Like, whereas I think where we come from, we do expect like your neighbors being alert, you can only work a certain time. That's what we thought. Sundays they don't work, but they definitely do. Not every Sunday, it's whenever they feel like. So we've just had a lot of like thumping construction right next door to us, to the point where our building actually shake. Things like that. And I also feel like perhaps there should have been some sort of like maybe check on like the building and how it's constructed and how it affects your neighbors. Because if that was back home, there definitely is going to be issue in terms of like structural integrity. How is it going to affect, like, is the building going to collapse? Because this is shaking when next door is demolishing. So I was like fearing for my life for a bit. I was like, it's an earthquake. So things like that, it's all fun and games when it's just like, oh, it's kind of loosey-goosey, there's not a lot of rules and you can sort of do what you want, and which is great. But when it comes to bigger things, I think some rules are good. Some, just some. So that's that one. So don't come thinking that like, oh, apply your logic to how things should work here, because it definitely don't work that way. Really, if you want to have a good time here, you will have to just learn to roll with it or move on, like us. It's to a point where it becomes more of a health and safety reason, so we are moving on because of that. Otherwise, other things don't really bother us, like the 2 a.m. bambao cart, that's fine. Someone needs to make a business and they're passing by. It's just part of what they do. It's part of the culture. But when it's health and safety, that's where we draw the line. So that's it. That's the things we learned while living in Da Nang in the last few months. It's an upcoming city with lots to offer. You got great beaches, lots of restaurants around, but it is a city of contrast. There is tranquility of the beach, of the riverside, but then you also have the chaos that comes with it as well. So we are leaving to Hoi An next. We did stay there for a couple of months last year and we like it because it is a bit more tranquil, a lot more quieter, which suits our vibes better. Da Nang could work for a lot of other digital nomads, especially those who are seeking a bit of everything. But it's just not for us at the moment, so we're going to move on. If you found this video informative and inspiring, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date on all our latest adventures and travel tips.
And sharing is caring. So do share this video with your friends, family and fellow travelers.